If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. GMS fam, the green room. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the GMS show, man. We got a lot to talk about today. As you are pulling up, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Follow me on my socials, all that good stuff, man. Whatever it is that you choose to do out here, just make sure you show love. GMS fam, the green room. Also tap in to that live chat. Let me know you are tuning in and vibing with us today. Shout out your city if you rep your state and yo living place. I see you. Glittery Bubbles is in the chat. Steeler Lee is in the chat. Queen Kales is here. Sanaa is in the building. Yes, we have so many things to go over today. So much has happened over the past couple of days. We're entering a very weird realm when it comes to rap music and when it comes to rap battles as a whole. Everybody has heard about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. There's not one person out here who pays attention to rap that doesn't know about the Drake and Kendrick beef. It was one of the biggest things that happened this year. Drake went and did what he did and said what he said and put out the songs that he put out, as well as Kendrick. But it seemed as though Kendrick got the best of the OVO captain, because the song Not Like Us went so crazy, it went so wild, it crossed over in every single possible realm, that now Drake is suing not Kendrick Lamar but his own label, UMG. He is alleging that these individuals put their own funds that they've made off of Drake, him being their biggest artist, taking the funds that Drake has made for them and using it against him to help boost the streams of Not Like Us and to work against Drake, resulting in damaging his career and also him taking a financial hit over the song and the subject matter of the hit single. Now, before I get to that, I just want to say, before this lawsuit dropped, Kendrick Lamar dropped a surprise album called GNX that is going crazy right now. If you guys did not hear the album yet, I suggest you go play it. I suggest you go give it a listen. I suggest you take your time with it. GNX has 12 songs on it, man. First one is Whacked Out Morals, which came in hot. He was really talking this shit on there, threw some jabs. A lot of people was talking about his bars that were towards Wayne, because Lil Wayne ended up replying to seemingly, because a lot of these niggas are scared to put names to it, but he didn't put a name to it, but it was very clear what he was referencing. Lil Wayne went on his Twitter and said, please don't try to wake up the giant. We don't want that. He just wants to stay in peace. I'm gonna be honest, man. I love Wayne. Wayne is a legend. Nothing can take away from Wayne's career, him as a artist, him as a rapper, top tier rapper at that. Top tier. One of the greatest of all time. But do I think that he can go back and forth with Kendrick? That's subjective. You know what I'm saying? That's subjective. I will say this, though. A lot of people felt the same way when it came to Drake and Kendrick, and people thought Kendrick was finna be iced in this battle. They didn't think Kendrick stood a chance. But look what happened. Now, I will say this. The way that he wrote it, the way that he spit those bars, I didn't see that as a diss to Wayne. What people don't realize when it comes to this situation is social media has a lot of influence on how people react to certain situations. When Kendrick was announced as the person that was going to be performing at the 2025 Super Bowl, nowhere did Kendrick say, I got this and fuck Lil Wayne and, I got this over the New Orleans top artist. He didn't say nothing. They put out a promo video. They announced it, and that was it. The fact that social media was going around complaining, especially the Drake fans and the Drake stans who just want Kendrick to take the L out of this entire battle, sat back and made it a thing about Lil Wayne not performing at the Super Bowl. I don't understand why they did that, because now you result in people, or in Wayne being one of the people to come out and try to talk about why he feels so bad that he wasn't chosen. When in reality, Kendrick had a monster year. And it's not even over yet. The year's not even over yet, but clearly Kendrick took over 2024 as a rap artist, as an artist, period. And it's cool. You can say, because it's attached to Drake. Well, Drake should have never involved himself in the battle then. I hate how people have been trying to twist this narrative and how they try to change history and try to make it, now that Kendrick seems to be the one that came out on top of this battle, now all of a sudden is, he couldn't do this without Drake, or, thank Drake for him having one of his biggest songs, or because he's streaming. So he was in, how did y'all make it one-sided? How did y'all all of a sudden go from, he finna wash Kendrick to, Kendrick is this, to all of a sudden, he thanks to Drake? Y'all act as if Drake never participated in this battle. What would y'all narrative be if Drake was the one that came out with the W when it came to this battle? Would you be sitting there saying that it was thanks to Kendrick? Because when we're talking about both these artists, it's not like Kendrick was some local artist or some underground artist who ended up going at Drake and now he has a career now. We're talking about two highly established artists, superstars in their own right, both on global arena tours, making millions of dollars off of rap music. That's the shit that was crazy to me, because we went from hearing somebody call them the big three, and on the song with the man that he's beefing with, J. Cole, who knew what to do in this battle. He bowed out gracefully. He didn't care about the hits he was going to take. He didn't care about everybody talking crazy. He said, I'm just going to bow out because I know this shit is going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly, and sure enough, it is. But Cole said on the song, the big three, Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. Everybody agreed. So if Kendrick was in the top three or in the big three of rappers, how in the hell do you come up with the narrative that he needs Drake to be popular? People want to rewrite history so bad, but it's like, it is what it is. And I understand the reaction, because Drake is such a huge artist. He's so bigger than life, and he has such a cult following, and he has so many fans out there that people did not accept his loss in this battle. And you could see it. The multiple pages on Twitter, academics pages, and different Drake Stan accounts and people that's riding for Drake. This is the funny part. Drake is really suing his own label, and he's suing them for certain things that they did, malpractice or anything like that, for doing extra to try to help boost up Kendrick. But if we look back in the payroll for OVO and Drake, I'm pretty sure we see a lot of these accounts under the payroll that's been sitting here pushing narratives towards Kendrick. It's so hard for them to find something to stick, because on one end you have Drake talking about Kendrick beats on his wife and that one of his kids ain't his, but not once has any proof come out of that. There's been no proof whatsoever. There's not been one thing that's come out to suggest that what Drake was claiming was true. But yet he's suing for defamation in the second suit that came out this morning. Well, it's not a lawsuit, it's a petition that they're trying to petition to become a lawsuit. So let me get that right. These aren't lawsuits, these are petitions. These are petitions that they're writing up and putting forth so that they can turn into lawsuits so that he can sue for defamation. But that's a slippery slope, because you claim that man beat on his wife and that one of your kids, or that one of his kids, might be his managers without any proof. Now, on the other hand, with Kendrick calling him a certified PDF file, well, there's a little bit of a history of weird actions. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit of a history of that. And we talked about this on this show. There was the instance where Drake was on stage with a 17-year-old girl. Drake made compliments towards this girl, and then when he found out her age, he had every option to tell this girl to get off stage and bring up somebody of age. He decided not to do that and instead go in for multiple kisses and to compliment this girl's breastises. And then after he commented on her breastises, he decided that he was going to be intimate on stage with this young girl who he knew was underage. Do you want to know what the excuse is from certain Drake stans about this? Oh, well, the girl said it was fine. The girl said nothing happened. Huh? That's like when Chris Hansen goes out here and they have fake underage girls messaging these guys, these weirdos on the internet, and they going back and forth because the guy thinks he's talking to like a 14 or 15-year-old girl. And then when he shows up to the house, they be like, oh yeah, now we got him. He's a pedo. He was out here trying to get with a 14-year-old girl, sending her pictures, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden the pedo goes, well, she's not a real 14-year-old girl, so your intentions, my good sir, your intentions. Because if it was a real 14, 15-year-old girl, who knows what would have happened? So just because the girl that was involved said it was harmless and that it was nothing, doesn't mean that it exempts Drake's intentions when he did what he did. Same thing with the Millie Bobby Brown situation. Millie being a 14-year-old girl. Why would somebody in their 30s want to have some type of friendship relationship with a 14-year-old girl? Why does a grown-ass 30-something-year-old man have the desire or have the want or even have just any type of relationship with a 14-year-old girl they didn't grow up with, don't know their parents, don't know their cousins, don't have no connections to them? That people don't think about this shit. People don't never think about that. He had no connection to Millie Bobby Brown whatsoever. I could have gave him the benefit of the doubt if Drake came out with a new song and he wanted the theme to be Stranger Things. So he decided to DM Millie Bobby Brown, even though it'll still be weird because you can just go ahead and like DM or get in contact with the people that made the show, like the producers and shit, you know, and then they can contact the actors. But let's just say that was the case. You know what I'm saying? They both celebrities. They both popular. Hey, I'm going to reach out to her directly because this could be something popular. We could post the DMs and say, hey, look, I got DM'd by Drake to get all my cast members together to shoot a video for him and recreate Stranger Things. No, this man wanted to have a friendship with a 14-year-old girl to give her boy advice. Call it what you want, but you cannot escape the intentions and you cannot escape the facts of the matter. There was no point or no reason for him to ever want to have a friendship or any type of relationship with a 14-year-old girl as a grown-ass man. All right? So when somebody's sitting here calling you something, a certified PDF file, or saying that you trying to strike a chord and it's only A minor, it's because you have somewhat of a track record, sir. And it might be even more of a slippery slope once you are going out here suing for defamation, because now they're going to try to track down all your relationships. They're going to try to, because at this point, when you're suing for defamation, you got to prove it. You got to prove it. Without a shadow of a doubt. You have to convince the court that what is being said about you is not true. Now, do I believe that Drake is a PDF file? I don't know. He just has had some very questionable moments. Very questionable. Even in his lyrics when he's talking about going back to certain colleges or going back to certain areas. He's mentioned a few things in his songs, and that's okay. You can like younger girls, but not underage girls. All right? That's where the line is drawn. Now, let's get into this lawsuit, man, because I think it's important for us to really see what's going on here. And I want to point you guys into the direction of this guy here, Lawyers for Workers. Lawyer for Workers. He is a guy that he kind of got popular around the time that the Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez trial happened and the lawsuit for that was going on. He's had a lot that he has been doing lately, and I want to be able to share the breakdown of this lawsuit so you guys can hear it in its formality instead of me going back and forth and zigzagging and all types of other stuff. I want y'all to hear the lawsuit in its formality. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to discuss a little bit of this. And then later on, you guys need to stick around because I did not peep the fact that Corey had another interview out with Black America Web. Is that who it is? Or Ryan Cameron? Yeah, Ryan Cameron. I'm gonna shout his name out, Ryan Cameron. He had Corey on there to talk about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. He also talked about Donnell Rollins. I don't know where that was. I did not watch the whole thing. But we're going to watch some of that a little later. So stick around if you guys want to go over that and review that as well. All right. Lawyer for Workers, man. He's going to break down the first one. So this is the first suit that he's doing where he's claiming that Universal Music Group, Spotify, they conspired to inflate Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us streams so that they can try to defame and destroy Drake's career. Listen up.
I've been around a lot of rappers and legal drama, and this is the best one I've ever seen when you understand it. So first, this isn't a lawsuit. It's a petition where Drake is asking the court to require Universal Music Group to give him evidence that he needs to bring a RICO lawsuit and a lawsuit alleging illegal business practices. What he says is, I don't know who the other people were involved with Universal, but under the law, Universal has to tell me who they are so I can sue them for the following: civil RICO, deceptive business practices. What these people did is they used illegal bots to make it seem like Not Like Us was a lot more popular than it actually was. They cite to an academic's interview where Academics is on stream talking to some dude, and the dude says, I got paid $5,000 and promised a percent of Not Like Us in exchange for delivering 30 million fake bot streams when Not Like Us first launched, so that it would seem more popular than it was and the algorithms would bump it up everywhere. What's really interesting about Drake's claim is that if you watch the Academics interview, Academics questions the veracity, the truth of this guy, saying, hey bro, are you sure? Like, somebody promised you points for bot streams? There's producers and engineers and people who feature on songs who don't get a percent of the song. And somebody promised you. Academics questioned this guy's story. Anyway, Drake's lawyers saw it fit for a filing in a New York state court. And they say, look, this is some evidence of the bots. Then they say that Universal typically takes a cut in order for somebody like Spotify to put a Universal song on Spotify. And that in this case, Universal wanted Not Like Us to be more popular. And so they agreed to take a lower cut, and they gave it to Spotify on the low, cheap.
Now, that part a lot of people are talking about because that seems to be a big issue. As a matter of fact, I'm going to look for that video. There's a video that Rory and Mal, shout out to Rory and Mal. Rory put out a video kind of explaining why that specific part about it, this whole lawsuit is crazy, because apparently lowering the price by 30% was something that shouldn't have happened. And the fact that they did that, it's a very weird thing. And not to mention the fact that, you know, we're not going to act like labels haven't been doing this for years already. They've already been pushing, you know, that's what it is. That's why a lot of radio stations, that's why it's illegal now for radio stations to take money from labels to play songs, because it's not fair. Now, they still take money. It's just certain ways that they do it. For instance, you can be a label who wants your artist to be played more on a radio station. Instead of going to the radio station and paying the radio DJ up front to play the music, they're going to put some money behind something that they're doing. So, for instance, like DJ Envy, they got some money to go behind some of his car shows. They said they got some sponsors in place for his car show, and he can get paid from that. And now he's going to start playing this record label's artists a lot more, or whatever's popular. Shout out to Sean Mims for the $9.99 in the super chat. He said, AP and the light-skinned guys need to take the L. Drake might be bringing heat on him like Diddy did when he sued. Look, man, that's the thing. I don't know, and some people are saying that it's too. They're saying that as well. They're saying this is going to open up the realm for them to find out that Drake was also being somebody where their label actually paid for their streams to be boosted and for them to be out there. And a lot of people started showing that back in 2017 when Drake dropped. When was Certified Lover Boy? That wasn't in 2017, was it? Was that 2017? Whenever he dropped a certain album, and what Spotify did was put Drake everywhere. Wasn't just because he was the top artist, but because the label had enough money to do so. That's not proven yet, but it's clear as day that now if he's suing UMG for doing what they did for him back in 2017, as far as putting or pushing Not Like Us into every different avenue or DSPs, it's gonna put the magnifying glass back on him for sure. Let me stop this screen because I want to pull up what Rory said about this specific instance first. Then we're gonna go back to Lawyer for Workers video so you can hear him talk about it. This is what Rory said.
I have no dog in this fight. I like Kendrick's music. I like Drake's music. I also think both of them have used bots via UMG, whether they knew it or not. What stood out to me in that paperwork was the accusation that UMG lowered their licensing rate by 30% for Not Like Us. Just a quick history lesson. How we even got to the value of what a stream is was based off Spotify and the three majors negotiating on what that value would be. What makes it even crazier is All three majors have actual stock and ownership within Spotify. That would be illegal in any other business in the world, but it's a music industry, so anything can fly. To the point that I worked at a major when Spotify went public, and they emailed all of us as employees and said, you cannot buy stock because that would be insider trading. Now imagine you're an artist and you know that the people that own your music plus the people that distribute your music, which is a whole separate tech company, are in cahoots to define what a dollar means within the music industry. And then you later find out that for one artist in one song, they devalued that dollar. You wouldn't have an issue with it?
Interesting. Now, although he says he doesn't have a dog in the fight, I do honestly believe that he does. I believe that Maul does as well. It's very clear that Maul, his dog in the fight, is an OVO dog. It's for all the dogs. But nonetheless, we're going to get back to this video so you can hear the rest of this and we can move forward.
They paid radio for plays that, hey, Universal Music Group, in order to make Not Like Us artificially popular, paid people in radio. Apparently, they claim that all of this is illegal and that it caused damage to Drake by reducing his popularity, getting him less streams. They argue that streaming is a zero-sum game. Every time Not Like Us got streamed, it resulted in Drake not getting a stream because you necessarily can't get a stream if everybody's listening to something else on that day. And they have all these other wild allegations in there, including this idea that Universal is firing people who have loyalty to Drake and preferring people who have loyalty to Kendrick.
I just want to say that the part where, hold on, let me rewind it a little bit just so you guys can hear what he said about this right here.
Every time Not Like Us got streamed, it resulted in Drake not getting a stream because you necessarily can't get a stream if everybody's listening to something else on that day.
That sounds like the most pettiest light-skinned nigga shit I've ever heard in my life. Oh, a new popular song is out and everybody's going to listen to that and they're not listening to my shit. I want streams for the day. So clearly they're cheating and they're botting so that I don't get any streams because anytime somebody listens to Not Like Us, they're not going to listen to my music. Ugh. But I thought Drake was the biggest. I thought he was the top boy. I thought he was the guy that his fans are so loyal. His fans are this and that. He got so many people around the world that love Drake. How would that stop his streams or how would that lower his streams because people are going to listen to Not Like Us? That part I don't understand. Because unless they manipulated the system and where anytime Not Like Us got a stream, it took a stream away, like literally took a stream number away. It literally decreased the number of streams that Drake got that day. Then I don't see how he could win over a court or win a lawsuit when simply it was just because everybody was just going to listen to Not Like Us instead of going to stream a bunch of Drake's music. Then you start thinking about why he dropped 100 gigs. A lot of people like, oh, this is why he dropped 100 gigs because it was to spite his label. Or maybe because he was realizing that he wasn't getting the same amount of streams. Like they kept talking about his streams every month. Since the Drake and Kendrick beef started, pages like Academics, all these other pages that were supporting Drake kept talking about his stream numbers going up. Which is funny because in these lawsuits or in these petitions, Drake is using people like Academics and other people that have come out to talk about how they felt like Kendrick was botting or whatever the case may be. He's using them to help his case, but he can also be used, Academics could be used to go against Drake. Because these same pages are posting up his stream numbers, still doing amazing every month. So to have that argument in your lawsuit, but then in the same breath, the people that support you posting up the fact that your streams are still going up and still are amazing, contradicts what you're trying to put in the petition. That's just my take.
And they have all these other wild allegations in there, including this idea that Universal is firing people who have loyalty to Drake and preferring people who have loyalty to Kendrick, they also claim that Universal told Drake that, hey, none of this is our problem. Your problems are with Mr. Lamar. You should sue. Kendrick Lamar's last name, by the way, is Duckworth. They say your problems are with Mr. Duckworth. You should sue Mr. Duckworth. And if you sue Mr. Duckworth, maybe we'll jump in there with you. Because what do I think is happening here? First off, my mind is spinning because I can't imagine that you're relying on a source that academics questioned and that. But here's what I think is happening. I think you might have a situation where Drake realizes that Not Like Us and everything around that song and this battle has forever tarnished his earning ability and his ability to make that money. This is what I think is so significantly reduced that he's got to do everything he possibly can to get it back, even if that means filing these claims where you're out here. I would never file a claim like this if I were him, unless I guess there was that much money on the line. Because from a PR perspective, my gosh, what do we think, people? Does this play well or does this play poorly?
Now, a lot of people said that Drake was doing this for a bigger cause. It wasn't just because of Kendrick and, you know, him calling him a PDF file and saying he's a certified, you know, all that. He said it wasn't really about that. It's about the bigger picture, and it's about to dismantle the labels, and he's doing this for a bigger. Why would he do this for a bigger cause? Because as I see it, the labels historically have never given a damn about no artists. Historically, they show you with who they sign, who they push out there to the public, who they put money behind, who they don't want to pay, who they don't want to promote, who they show you day in, day out that they don't give a damn about any artist. So them being put on blast like this, do you think Drake is going to help music, or do you think it's going to harm music because these labels really aren't trying to pay the artists what they deserve? And if they get told about, and that's another thing, this is so backwards because we live in an era where people care about first week sales. If Drake wins this lawsuit, people's first week sales gonna go from 20 to 50K the first week to 3K to 5K, maybe 10 in the first week. Because everybody is getting boosted. Everybody is getting money put behind their careers to try to help boost them as an artist so they can make money in an industry that doesn't actually care about the value of music. You have no idea how many people I've talked to. I just talked to one of my friends today, this morning, about how they don't like to consume new music anymore. It's so much new music that comes out all the time. They don't even enjoy listening to new albums, especially from artists that they like. It's so oversaturated and things are so dumbed down and people care about the wrong things instead of caring about the music. These labels are already falling into the deep end when it comes to how they're going to market people or even try to maintain making money in the industry. So Drake going out here to call them out or to try to put them on blast or to try to prove that they boost numbers, it's only going to show that it happens with everybody. Then once they get that lawsuit cracked off and change the whole trajectory of how labels interact or how they push their artists, now you're going to see a lot more artists not getting paid, a lot more artists not doing big shows, a lot more artists not getting certain placements. It's going to look crazy out here. But what I will say from somebody who is a music lover, somebody who does pay attention to some of the artists out here and the way music is going, it might open the door for genuine music to cross through the threshold again and become more popular than what it is today. And I mean like authentic music, the music that doesn't have to be robotic, music that doesn't have to only appeal to a certain crowd, where people can actually open up their palettes for music instead of having one genre that they play all damn day. It may even open up the radio stations to where radios start playing more than the same fucking songs all damn day. Glorilla is not the only artist to play on the radio. Like there's artists that they play over and over the same songs in rotation for hours when there's so many artists and so much music out there to be played. And I get it. That's not how radio works. You play the most popular song. Change the trajectory. Why do we always have to wait for that one person with the most influence to say something or do something for people to start falling in line? That's what I don't understand. You can't create a radio station where you play alternative rap or non-trap rap and it become popular. And it's because we have become conditioned to do so. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me read some of y'all comments too. I'm gonna read some of y'all comments. I ain't gonna leave y'all in the dust. Let's say King Lukey said Drake caused this to happen. I don't understand why Drake is being pussy, nigga. Already he dug his own grave. He made his bed. Yeah, a lot of people said Drake went from telling Kendrick to drop to stop to I'm calling the cops. So I get that. DJ Travel says so they won't have to pay him as much. Only a few artists are making real money. Kendrick will get done the same way. Yeah, I mean, I guess all the artists just need to drop on social media. Don't sign a deal. Yeah, because they have a certain clause in there where if you do, you can't just drop music on Instagram. Like labels hate that. They hate when you drop music on Instagram, which is crazy because if they cared about the artistry, if they cared about the art, if they cared about the music, it shouldn't matter where they post a song at. If they're a huge artist and that song is getting motion, you should want to be behind that artist to help push that instead of trying to control what they put out. DJ Travel said, GMS, if I was trying to find your music and I asked Siri, play GMS, and they start playing Corey Holcomb music, would you want to sue? Well, here's the thing. That narrative behind somebody putting out music or putting out a certain song or trying to look for a certain song and it coming up something else, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I'm glad you said that because it's going to bring me straight to this video here because in that lawsuit, this guy was the one that was mentioned. He was the one that was mentioned because he was the one that came out to say he made a video showing that Siri was taking you to Not Like Us when you asked to play Certified Lover Boy on Spotify. He later showed this was because of lyric recognition, but they didn't include that part in the lawsuit. Listen to this.
Drake used my video in a lawsuit against Universal Music Group? What? What a week it has been. First we got the broccoli. Now we get the paperwork. Now this isn't an official lawsuit. It is what's called a pre-action petition. But Drake is basically claiming that UMG was using bots and other online tactics to push Kendrick's Not Like Us, inflate the numbers, inflate the streams, therefore degrading his image further in a song that called him you know what. Is this the guy who said never mind. This is a Supreme Court of the state of New York document. If you scroll down a couple pages, one of the things that Drake is alluding to, online sources reported that when users asked Siri to play the album Certified Lover Boy by recording artist Aubrey J. Graham, Siri instead played Not Like Us, which contains the lyrics Certified, an allegation against Drake. Now it's interesting, this online source here, if you go to the footnote number 15, it will take you to an article on Vibe magazine, and in paragraph 2 it says Hip Hop DX's Jeremy Heck revealed the interesting tidbit in a video this past Wednesday. As fans saw the video and tried it out for themselves, they realized that it was happening to them as well. Play Certified Lover Boy on Spotify. I see dead people. That's crazy. Now, as a reporter, eventually they all concluded that this was happening because Siri utilizes lyrics along with albums and titles to play what was requested with a vocal command in case the user does not know the actual song title. Research and figure it out because this is going viral. They identify things using lyrics within the song. I'm assuming this feature is for people who don't know the name of a song, but they know the lyrics and they ask Siri to play it. And Siri, can you play drop, 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 drop on Spotify?
Maybe in this song, you shouldn't start by saying...
So it went to Family Matters.
Now, as you can see, that whole narrative was cut in half because of Siri. not because of the labels trying to manipulate the system so that they can get Not Like Us more streams, but in fact because Kendrick used the lyrics Certified Lover Boy, they went to the newest, hottest song on the streets. Also, Certified Lover Boy is the name of an album. He said play the song Certified Lover Boy. So when he said play the song, Siri as a computer is thinking song, lyrics, Certified Lover Boy. Who said that? Kendrick, new song, Not Like Us, play it. And then he showed you an example, which is going to be crazy because they're going to play this in court. They're going to play this in court. He used this man's name in his lawsuit without even thinking about this part. I don't think Drake even thought about this second half. I think he only paid attention to the fact that, oh, Not Like Us started playing when you asked to play Certified Lover Boy. He went to do his own example of what plays when you say, hey, Siri, can you play the song Drop, 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 Drop? And you saw what started playing, not a Kendrick Lamar song, but a Drake song. So that whole theory got debunked by the person that is in the lawsuit. They put this man's name in it, and he said, hold on, man, don't y'all put me in this because I already debunked this. Already debunked that theory. So no, I wouldn't sue because when you look up my music and you look up my name, you will find it. Just like if you search Drake on any DSPs, you're going to go straight to Drake's music. Or when you type in Kendrick Lamar, etc. If you go to Siri and you ask them to play a certain lyric of a song, instead of knowing the name of the song, you might get some other results. That's all that is. And I hope that clarifies some things for people. Now, I woke up this morning to see that Drake dropped another petition that he wanted to turn into a lawsuit. That's right. He is now doing defamation. It's funny because a lot of people was like, well, it's kind of weird that the first lawsuit that was dropped is of Drake trying to confirm that his own label was botting streams for Not Like Us and trying to, damage his career and cause him financial decrease or whatever it did to him financially or whatever it did to his name and his popularity. But what they noticed is that he didn't name anything that was coming up in the song as far as the allegations of him being a certified PDF file. So this morning, we all woke up to a second petition, and this one was about defamation. Listen to this. We got Lawyer for Workers again with the breakdown.
What do you do when the entire internet roasts you for running to court after losing a rap battle? You go to court again. Drake has filed another petition. This is a petition, not a lawsuit. He's asking the court to tell Universal Music and iHeartRadio to turn over documents so that he can file a lawsuit for defamation and civil RICO claims, alleging that these companies engaged in a scheme to make Kendrick Lamar artificially popular, boost the algorithm and the coverage and the spread of his songs throughout the airwaves. At the same time, they knew that Kendrick Lamar was making defamatory statements about Drake, calling Drake a pedophile. And they chose to go ahead and engage in this whole big scheme, causing Kendrick Lamar to go up in popularity, causing Drake to go down. And now Drake says, I need this evidence and I'm going to file these lawsuits. I would ask Drake, have you not had enough of the good public reception? Also, are you at all concerned that if you were going to file a defamation lawsuit, why didn't you file a defamation lawsuit? Why did you file a petition? Have you considered that if you file a claim that you've been defamed by being called a pedophile, you then open yourself up to expansive discovery about all of your prior sexual relationships? But hey, look, we're talking about one of the biggest pop stars in the world, and he's made his calculations. His lawyers have given him his advice, and they're off to the courthouse. Who knows? Tomorrow might bring petition number 3.
Petition number 3. That's interesting. And I said that earlier. I said that this could open up the realm for them to try to find out some things about Drake that he might not want them to find out. And a lot of people probably don't understand that. And I mean, I'm not going to say Drake doesn't, because if you're somebody of Drake's celebrity, you're somebody of Drake's stature in life, I'm pretty sure the lawyers that you pay for really good money for would advise you like, hey, So this is going to happen. So I don't think that Drake is lost on that aspect, which kind of also tells me, if I want to be objective, that he's not worried about anything coming out. Because if you're somebody who is worried that somebody might find out that you like him young, say Drake, I hear you like him young. If you find that out, trust me, it doesn't seem like he's worried about that, because either he isn't about that or he was so good with it that there's no evidence. It has to be one of the two. He doesn't seem too worried about that, which is why he's filing these petitions to try to turn into a lawsuit. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows what will happen when it comes to this? Now, I just want to say that personally, I think this is some weirdo activity. I don't agree with it. You lost a battle. Whether or not you feel like you were being lied on, listen, man, you told the world that Kendrick beat on his wife and that one of his kids might be his managers. And now you're suing for defamation. I don't care how you try to spin it. I don't care how you try to make Drake the person that's supposed to die on some hill of righteousness for other artists and trying to call out labels. It's a bitch ass nigga move. You can't be the guy that was on some popular streamer's stream the night before talking about how you this and that, and it takes more than some fairy tales to take me out. You know, I'm mind, body, and soul. Then turn around and sue a nigga and sue labels because of how a song that was against you was popular. Do y'all remember what happened when Back to Back dropped? Because I wonder how Meek Mill feels about this. Because Back to Back was such a big record. It was such a huge commercial success as a diss record. Like, that song damaged Meek Mill's career. It did. I remember somebody asked, man, when did it become popular to just shit on Meek Mill? Like, at one point, Meek was this and he was that. He was highly regarded. He was highly respected, had fans. Everybody, you know, they respected him as a lyricist. They respected him as a top artist. And then after the back-to-back shit happened, after him and Drake beefed, it was like it was cool to make fun of Meek or to make Meek the butt of all jokes. Then the craziest thing happened. Them niggas came back together to be cool again. It was like, no, I don't think I would have ever shook Drake's hand after that. Especially if you played into it and you were hype about my career ending. And you were pushing for me to look a certain way in front of the public and to demean me and my career and who I am as an artist. Just like you seen with how these different corporations were responding to Kendrick's new album, all these different corporations posting up mustard. I know y'all seen it. They posting up memes with the word mustard. McDonald's. All these different big corporations doing that. It was the same thing with Back to Back. Back to Back was getting a lot of attention. A lot of big entities were tweeting out Back to Back or tweeting out lyrics from that song. Drake was all cool with it though, because it was in favor of him, which is crazy to me. Because now that now it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun now. And a lot of people were in denial talking about Drake's career and how this ain't gonna do nothing to his career. Well, guess what? He wrote up a petition telling you how it affected his career. Very weird, man. Very weird. I was gonna play this Lauren LaRosa video, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna play this video and then we're gonna move forward. Rob Markman. Rob Markman went on. I don't know if you guys know who Rob Markman is, but Rob Markman is he's a self-proclaimed music head. He's worked with a lot of different hip hop entities. He is a blogger. He is somebody who is presence when it comes to hip hop commentary. and he's very successful in different ways. He's worked with a lot of artists. He's involved in music in a whole bunch of different ways. So I would take his word for some things as somebody who knows about hip hop. His hip hop knowledge is very well versed. He, after this news broke about paid propaganda and UMG using their money and using their leverage to try to go against Drake, he revealed that he was reached out to by a member of OVO to try to help show love to Drake during this time that Kendrick was up in the beef. Listen,
I'm gonna read the lyrics, man. Fuck yeah, I'm not. I work hard for this shit, and all these other YouTubers work hard for this shit. I'm not giving anything back to the label while at the same time promoting your artist. Like, fuck out of here. So it was a big headline and a big deal when Kendrick said, "Hey man, for all those reacting to Not Like Us, we're gonna whitelist." To me, that was good strategy. You know what I'm saying? That Drake could have done the same thing. I'm sure Drake could have done the same thing. I'll tell you one further, and I'm gonna be honest, and I haven't said this, and I was approached during the battle by a team connected with the OVO side and asked me to show the boys some love. You know, again, I was being as unbiased as possible. I was calling it like I see it, but they asked me, "Yo, we know you're unbiased." Really said it. We know you're unbiased, and we like that you're unbiased and you really try to call it straight. But can you show the guy some love? And no money was offered. No, absolutely no money was offered. But you know, they kind of offer some things, some information, some access, and say, "Yo, and we'll make it that you could play his songs in your videos. You know, we'll whitelist it." Ultimately, I declined. Ultimately, I declined for my own personal reasons. I just feel like my allegiance is to y'all. If I took that and swayed one way, then I just wasn't being myself. And then how could y'all trust me after that? I never thought I would talk about it, but in reading this, all I'm saying is both sides. If this is true about UMG and Not Like Us, and you know, paying the podcast, and we know the whitelisting is true, and trying to get promotion for the record through podcasters and streamers, and if that is true, all I'm saying is, and the reason why I share that is that, hey, both sides were trying to play the game.
Both sides were trying to play the game. Also, some alleged screenshots were dropped of a Telegram conversation between somebody and another individual who was apparently OVO, and it showed them sending them an article talking about how Kendrick didn't want R. Kelly's songs being taken off of DSPs. The thing about that is, it's crazy how the game works, because you can tell, and I was saying this, as a matter of fact, I'm on record. This is why I love tweeting out things that I'm thinking, because at some point something ends up happening where it's like, see, Drake was doing a lot of, I feel like a lot of projecting in some of his music, and one of the things that he said in one of his songs, which was, I believe, Family Matters, at the end of the end of it, towards the end of it, he said that Kendrick hired a crisis management team to hide the fact that he beat on his queen. Also, it was hilarious that at the end of that song, he kept saying shit like, you did. Now look at him. Lawsuits for defamation, because this nigga started feeling dead inside. He's like, damn, this nigga Kendrick is killing my career. There's no way that I can let this man perform this goddamn song at the Super Bowl. I gotta do something about this. But nonetheless, back to my point. When you say things like hiring a crisis management team, but you have somebody like Academics and a whole bunch of other stan accounts putting out narratives. See, after the whole thing happened, they were trying their hardest because evidence started coming out of Drake being weird in situations with underage girls. So when that happened, they needed to desperately fight against that. So what they did was they found this random video of some weird looking white chick sitting around this other dude and another girl or whatever the case may be in somebody's living room, where this white girl said that she worked security, which I believe is cap in the first place. No, your ass was not working no security in the Las Vegas. But she claimed she was a security guard at Las Vegas at a hotel, and that she witnessed a girl running away or running down the hall or something like that, where she was all messed up, bloodied and bruised, and claimed that the girl said, when they asked what happened, they didn't see anybody. They didn't see anybody. They just saw the girl. They just saw the girl. And because they just saw the girl running down the hallway screaming frantically, they asked what happened. The girl said she got beat up by Kendrick Lamar. Mind you, there's no police report. There's no camera footage of them being at the hotel or when this was. They don't have the girl's name that alleged this. All it was a story from a random white girl sitting in a living room talking about how a girl was running out of a hotel and claimed that Kendrick Lamar beat her up. That was the basis of where they brought the allegations from. And this happened at a time where Kendrick wasn't a top artist or one of the most popular artists at the time. So he definitely didn't have the connections to get the video scrapped if there was surveillance video of it. I seriously doubt that happened. But they tried it. Not to mention the countless other narratives where they tried to post this, and like right before he dropped the video for Not Like Us, the narrative of him beating on his wife was still out there, and people trying to talk, why isn't Whitney talking? Why isn't Whitney come out and posting it? We live in such a weird ass, robotic ass, brainless ass, bot ass society where people feel like people got to tell you everything that's going on in their life, or they got to address every fucking thing on the internet for your validation so that you can hear something for a fact or if it's not a fact. When in reality, that's for them people to figure out. That's for them people to handle in their personal lives. Why the fuck are they coming out here to try to address something to y'all niggas that aren't around them and don't know shit? Whitney didn't have to come out to say nothing. Then Not Like Us dropped, and you see Whitney and the kids dancing, walking in the living room. And you know what they did after that? They start saying, oh, it looks like she's doing that just to try to escape from the fact that she was getting beat on. It's like y'all niggas, y'all want Kendrick to be y'all want him to be the exact person that Drake was trying to say on those songs, but because he isn't, and because he isn't displaying those characteristics, y'all trying to latch on to it because your mans took a L. Now the Whitney stuff ain't working because then she pulled up to the pop out. She was right there with the kids watching the show. While niggas is saying that they ain't really together or he ain't trying to make her his wife and they just pulling up doing family shit without having to go to the internet to tell y'all we good. The fuck do they have to tell y'all that for? Especially if it's not true. Because if you come out and say it's not true, people ain't gonna believe you anyway. That's the other messed up part about it. Y'all want people to come out and make statements so bad, but y'all gonna be the type where it's like, why didn't Whitney say nothing? And if Whitney posted, well, that never happened. He never put his hands on me. He's never done it in life. He's never even thought about putting his hands on me. Then niggas was like, oh, look, she posting just because she trying to help her mans out, knowing damn well he beat the shit out of her. Y'all will never be satisfied because y'all niggas weird. Now, all I know is both sides have played into this. Algorithms have played into this. Crazy stands have played into this. Social media narratives have played into this. One thing I will say, the one person that you have seen going on the internet and posting and trying to act unbothered has been Drake. Kendrick don't be posting shit like that. Maybe on his burner account on Instagram. I don't know. But he ain't out here making no statements. He ain't out here trying to he ain't out here trying to address Drake. He ain't out here trying to address X, Y, and Z. He'll put it in the song and move on. Snoop handled the situation way better than Lil Wayne did. He told Snoop it had to be the edibles for you to go ahead and share Drake's song talking about me. Can't be. It can't be the same nigga that passed me the torch. It can't be. And still then, he wasn't disrespectful. Same with Wayne. He wasn't disrespectful. I feel like out of this whole thing, Kendrick has played this the smartest. He's left it straight to the music. He did one interview with SZA. One interview. And hardly talked about the shit then. That man has a strategy and he's living by it. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I respect Drake too. I don't want people to get that confused. It's just that seeing how many delusional fans there are and the people that go out here and do and what really pisses me off the most, like, it's cool to have your favorite artist. It's cool to have loyalty to your favorite artist, whatever the case may be. But we've got into an era where now people are doing the triggered post. People are doing the over sensationalized post. They're trying to do the shock value post, the trigger post. He's gonna post what do they call it? Rage bait, where somebody who really doesn't give a damn about the Kendrick or Drake situation at all will go on the internet and type something up about one of the artists and then just watch the interactions come, because that's how they get paid with a blue check on Twitter. Or that's how they get the interactions they searching for, because these niggas ain't got no actual lives outside of the internet. It's just become very weird, man. So it's just, you know, we going to see how this plans out. We're going to see how this turns out and how the lawsuit turns out for Drake. And if he will even get around to actually suing Kendrick, because I think that's the move. I think the move for the defamation petition is to get it passed on to be an actual lawsuit, and then it will be a lawsuit towards Kendrick for defamation or whatever the case may be. It'll be interesting if it pans out the way that he wants it to pan out. Drake has enough money. He has enough resources. I'm pretty sure taking this to court is inevitable. So we will see. We will see. And as this goes on, we will keep y'all updated. But I do think that no matter how you spin it, how you twist it, how you turn it, this is one of the most bitch nigga moves I've ever seen in rap history when it comes to rap battles. You was in a battle, you lost, you participated in this battle. It wasn't just Kendrick going at you and you was like, man, what's wrong with this guy? Why is he doing all this? You participated in it. So the results of what happened could never go to the court. The results of what happened should never result in a lawsuit or a petition or defamation, any of that. I do not care how anybody spins it, Drake fans or not. This was a whole move. And I don't think Drake will ever in his life be respected the same way besides his stans and the people that stan Drake and literally put OVO in their bios and shit and put little owls after their sentences. Those are the only people that will sit here and find excuses and try to go and try to coddle Drake's nuts. But for the most part, a lot of people are not going to respect this. And then you're going to see the amount of people that actually work with Drake after this happens. You're going to see the type of people that do. It's going to be the people that favor Drake. It's not going to be anybody that either straddles the fence or is cool with Kendrick. Now sides are definitely picked. Sides are already picked, and it is what it is now. You suing a man over a rap battle. People caring about, like, this is the thing. People caring so much about inflation of the numbers. We knew this was happening already. Didn't nobody care? Drake didn't care about the inflation of streams or trying to pump streams when it was his music and him being the #1 streamed artist. He didn't care about that. And now that he's suing about it, it should let y'all know that those numbers and those accolades that he's getting may be a little faulty. you'd have to take away a lot of titles from the #1 streamed artist in the country or in the world if labels are doing this. I don't know. It'll be very interesting. But like I said, I'll keep you guys updated as we continue to go forward. Now, let's get to this, man. Let's talk about this so we can get up out of here. Corey Holcomb was on a show recently where he had an interview with a Mr. Ryan Cameron. All right. Now, of course, Corey has been going back and forth with the good Dr. Cheyenne Bryant after she had a interview on the Cam Newton show where she claimed a lot of things and said a lot of things, and Corey took offense for Cam Newton and decided to insert himself into a beef that he had no business being in. A lot of people try to miss that part and try to go straight to the fact that he's just trying to ether this woman. That's what pisses me off about how people's mindset goes. It's like Corey could be right about how he feels about somebody, but his approach to it and how he starts things and then feels like a victim once they come back and try to step back at him or try to go back at him or come at him, that to me is crazy. Like, okay, you chose to go after this woman, but stand on the fact that you went after her first. Stand on the fact that you went out of your way to talk about this woman when she wasn't talking about you. I don't care if people feel like she a bust down or if she's not a real doctor. It doesn't matter. When you cause, that's like with me. This man Corey doesn't ask me to talk about him. Corey doesn't be out here like, man, I hope GMS says some shit about me. I'm choosing to comment on these situations. So if Corey decided to respond to something I did or said, I can't be like, ooh, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga? I could if it was unwarranted. I could if it was a situation where he didn't understand where I was coming from or tried to make it seem like I was a hater, and I could correct that. But if I'm talking about a specific situation and he has a problem with that, well, so be it. It doesn't matter. I chose to talk about it. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, man, Corey is he's somebody, he just don't understand. Like, nah. But a lot of the times he doesn't respond in a way where it's somebody that he's or trying to be objective about. If somebody is unbiased or somebody's just being objective about something that he said, you have to damn near be a yes man for him to be like, oh, I mess with you. Or I can listen to what he has to say in regards to something that happened with me. Now, let's listen to what he said here because it's been going on. This is the fourth time actually. Mind you, the fourth time that this man has spoke about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, she's only spoken and responded to him once on the Breakfast Club. She chose the right platform to do it at. But this is Corey's fourth time talking about this woman. He did it after the Cam Newton interview. He did it on the Cam Newton interview where he was on Cam's show. He did it again on his show after she spoke about him on the Breakfast Club. And then the following week, this past week, he talked about her again and then went on this. This is the fifth time. This is the fifth time. Fifth time being on this show. Now, I understand. People ask you questions because certain things are going viral or certain things are being talked about. I get it. I understand you want to respond to it because they asked you about it, but you also have the choice to respond to it. You have the option to speak on a person. You have every option or every chance to do it or not. And when you choose to do it, that's what you are giving your energy towards. So this is Corey talking about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
The thing I feel bad about is he jammed up with this crazy lady who calls herself a doctor, and she refuses to show this doctor's license because it don't exist. And this lady is so determined to try to show that this lady who Cam is with, because I didn't know about her before the show, but I did a little research on her. She wants this girl to think that somebody is doing wrong by her, but Cam and her are happy, and she said they're happy. But according to this lady who doesn't tell her truth, because I know her truth, this is a girl.
You're talking about Dr. Bryant.
Dr. Bryant, the girl who like girls. I know your girlfriend. You did a good job hiding her, but the streets don't lie. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot about you, Miss Bryant. This ain't what you want. You went on the Breakfast Club and lied on me. Be careful. I know your business.
She lied on you.
Yeah, she said.
Doesn't it concern you that Corey knows about a lot of people's personal business who he doesn't deal with and who he's not friends with or cool with? It almost seems like he calls these people out because he knows certain things about them. Like putting out people's personal business or putting things out about people that you know in private that isn't public knowledge, to me will always be the most messiest woman-like behavior that I've ever seen in my life come from a man. Mind you, he's into it with a woman right now who he chose. This is what I'm talking about. He chose to go at this person. Now it's, oh, dude, you saying stuff about me, you lying about me on the Breakfast Club. I know things about you. This is also why in the beginning of this interview, he talks about how he puts his own stuff out there so people won't be able to use it against him, which I feel like he thinks is a safety net. But at the same time, you still get offended and bothered by what people say about you. A person that is putting his business out on Front Street so that people won't use it against him wouldn't be sounding or wouldn't seem so as bothered as Corey when certain things like this happen. But we're gonna keep it going. Let's try to give him the benefit of the doubt here.
I'm an alcoholic. She said.
Oh no, it is a we got a show together. I'm gonna play this clip when we come back. That's called True Talks, and Cam came up, and then your name came up, and I know that you need to hear it in real time.
Do I stink, by the way? Because she said my hygiene was bad.
I don't know. I asked Ryan if he was going to come up in here stinking.
You see what I'm saying?
I wasn't sure.
That's a smear campaign.
Smear
that is really, she out of pocket for that.
Okay.
Because, like, if I was like, you so want to.
Well, hold on. We'll come back. We got more.
The fact that disturbed Corey so much about what she said about his hygiene is hilarious to me, because just like a lot of people that saw what she had to say, they took a lot of things out of context. She was saying it looked like he stank. She didn't say that she actually smelled him. She was saying that it looked like his hygiene was bad. If it's not true, why do you fixate on it? Just like when the one comic called him bitter. He was fixated on the fact that this nigga was calling him bitter, but he felt like he wasn't. If you're not what people are accusing you of or portraying you as to be, yeah, you can respond to it. But when you get fixated on it, it starts raising the eyebrow of why are you worried so much about what she said in that regard if it's not true? Almost like with Drake and Not Like Us. If you are not a certified PDF file, why are you suing for defamation when you participated in spreading lies about somebody and putting out narratives about somebody? It'd be one thing if somebody was doing that out of just doing it to get at you or to bother you, but you participated in a whole battle. Anyway.
We got more. And there's a show on Foxhole that I am part of that Dr. Bryant is on called True Talks. It airs Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock live. And the Cam Newton interview came up because she's gone viral on that. She's gone viral with Ray J. And you saw her on the Breakfast Club?
Yeah, I saw what she had to say about me, and it was like, wow,
okay,
your back must really be against the wall, because if I was to be like, okay, I want you to show me any proof of what you said about me. Well, the main thing, it doesn't even matter what somebody said about me. My people, the Tabernacle Theater sold out.
Right.
I want to see you try to sell it out with that nonsense you be selling with that Emmett
What is
Smith hairline.
What is the beef? What is it all
The beef, she mad because I busted out. She's not a doctor. So that makes her mad because this is part of her hustle. I'm a doctor.
A person that has a doctorate in anything should and did the schooling for it. Now, his argument is about the school she got her degree from and the fact that the school closed down, which I guess negates the certificate of her being her doctorate. Man, if I went through, first of all, do you think Corey will go through X amount of years of schooling to get a degree in something, and just because the school shut down means he ain't what he studied and what he passed and what he worked on for years? Do you think that took away from that? I guarantee you Corey would sit up there and fight all day about the fact that he is actually has a doctorate and that he completed his school, and regardless if the school shut down, that's not his problem. But because the technicality of whatever school that she got her doctorate from shut down, now all of a sudden she's not a doctor. And it was his way of saying, well, this where did the beef start from? Because I called her out. Huh? A whole alpha male called out a woman that wasn't saying nothing about him or even directed anything towards him. You just felt offended for another man and decided to call her out. Let's hear.
Doctor. No, you're not a doctor. You don't go around saying you're a doctor in front of me, because everybody who lie around me, we fall out. We fall out. Everybody who lie around me, I try to be quiet. But it just come out.
So
you're
how
lying.
do you know she's not a doctor? She doesn't
It's
show
very
her
easy to find out
certificate?
if somebody is a doctor. You ask them, where are you licensed out of?
Okay.
And then you just look up, because if she's a doctor, you're going to see the license. But she hasn't produced the license. Let me tell you why. She's not a doctor. She's a self-proclaimed doctor. Let the facts be the facts. If y'all know her, ask her, hey, let me see your license. Let's see what she say.
Okay.
Let's find this. Let's find this, because I want to make sure we hear this correctly. All right. Let's go to this. Let's talk about it, because I want y'all to hear. Where was this at? We're going to go to the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant interview. We're going to go to her Breakfast Club interview so you guys can hear what she said in response to whether or not she's a doctor. All right? Let's play this out. Let me find this timestamp. Who have a conversation with Corey Holcomb? All right, here we go. We'll go ahead and I gotta pull this up. Excuse me, y'all. He said not every doctor is a medical provider. Exactly. That's the one thing that fucked me up, because I'm like, does he know that there are like multiple variants of a doctor? You don't have to be just a doctor with a stethoscope and giving people shots all the time, like trying to diagnose people with illnesses. Like, you don't have to always be a doctor with a white robe on going in to check somebody's health. You could be a doctor in psychiatry. You could be a doctor in different aspects. Now here's what she said.
I want to ask you about some internet rumors that I've seen. You know, Corey Holcomb said some things about you, about not having your degree and where you started off as I guess working in a strip club. Is any of that stuff true?
You said you're not a real doctor.
You said, yeah, you're not a real doctor.
No, so I have 4 degrees. 3 are in psychology, 1's in Pan-African Studies.
So when he talked about this, I want y'all to remember when Corey talked about this after her interview on the Breakfast Club, he said they asked her, and this is why I be tripping over some of the people that follow him and who take his word for stuff, because you will hear things exactly how they were said. He will say them differently, and people will run with that narrative as if they didn't hear what was actually said. For instance, Marcus. When Marcus got into it with Corey, and the whole thing happened with Marcus's show, Marcus said that Abe came to his house, unplugged a bunch of things, deleted some stuff, and left. All right? Corey saw that, and in his mind, and how he conjured it up in his brain, was that Marcus was saying that Abe never showed up. And then people ran with that, as if Marcus actually said that. So just like in this situation, When Dr. Cheyenne Bryant says that she has 3 different degrees over here and then she has a degree over here, he didn't pay attention to that. He wanted her to pull up a whole certificate, which is wild to me. Let's hear that
I have
again.
4 degrees.
In the strip club, is any of that stuff
You
true?
said you're not a real doctor.
You said, yeah, you're not a real doctor.
No, so I have 4 degrees. 3 are in psychology, 1's in Pan-African Studies. My doctor degree is in counseling psychology. My master's is in marriage, family, child therapy. All degrees are in psychology. Doctor degree is in counseling psychology. My master's is in marriage, family, child therapy. All degrees are in psychology. Doctor degree is in counseling psychology. My master.
Her doctor degree is in counseling and psychology. Her doctorate is in counseling and psychology. She said it out of her own mouth. Whether you want to believe her, that's up to you, but she doesn't have to do all the extra shit where she has to show a degree because some nigga on a platform is saying she's not a doctor. Do you understand that? Do you understand how crazy that is and why they even and how this shit even started in the first place? This shit don't make no sense. But here we are in the position of listening to how this shit went down and somebody being as bothered as they are about a woman going around trying to do therapy work. Something that Corey needs. We all need therapy, goddammit.
Must hurt. Like, do you know that? I want to tell y'all something. The doctor she's attractive. Do you know people that are attractive can lie and people want to believe them? This is actually some scientific stuff.
So that's what you're saying,
right
that her looks are the reason that people believe her.
Yes, this is the only way she can get away with doing this stuff that she's doing. You lying, ma'am. Stop saying you're a doctor, because people like me and a lot of people on the internet have done the research and looking for this stuff you say you got. And that's not what you really want to do to the people who, I call it the real boys and girls, the boys and girls that help me sell out the Tabernacle Theater.
Yeah.
We ain't going for it.
Listen to this clip.
Listen, y'all, ex-Panther quarterback, who I know all too well, Cam Newton, a.k.a. I went viral on that one too, y'all, recently shared on his Funky Friday podcast that he blames Kim Kardashian for the BBL epidemic. But I want to ask you, Cam, do you blame yourself for all the broken homes? Anyway, what he said was Kim Kardashian is responsible for impacting the look for what we deem, or women deem, as I want my body to look like that. When you look at the BBL epidemic, is it in large part impacted because of Kim Kardashian?
Now,
Really,
in
what
the
you think?
episode, Cam Newton interviewed comic Corey Holcomb, who also has some strong things to say about Dr. B, but we're going to work on that. He talked about women getting enhancers and butt enhancement. He claims anyone with a BBL has a mental illness. Take a look at this.
Somebody that is going to be the mainstay is probably not going to be a woman with a BBL. Because I know that's mental illness, to let somebody crack your ass open, put some Air Jordan up in there, and sew it back up. That is not a mentally stable woman.
Well, my thing is, and I said on Breakfast Club, any man who is has an addiction issue, who has low hygiene, which represents depression and mental health, who also has issues where their kids don't talk to them or deal with them, whose wife don't deal with them, who has mommy and daddy issues, is the last man that needs to be referring to anybody with mental health issues.
Come on
think
now.
that he needs
Good God. This is why it's bad to get into it with a psychiatrist, because these people will dig into who you are. They're not going to look at the surface level shit. They're not going to just look on the outside. It's easy to be like, oh, well, she's not a real doctor of shit. Oh, look, she's a bust down, or she used to be a stripper. I used to see her with D-Ray. And then when people start mentioning things that may be personal or hit home, you start sitting there looking like Corey looking right now. Do you think he wants to hear this playback? Now, whether or not his hygiene is good, we ain't never heard nothing about Corey being a stanky nigga ever in life. So I don't want to push that narrative. And plus, she said he looked like he stank, but now I'm pretty sure because she heard his response and how much it bothered him, she's gonna hammer down on it, because that's what some people do. But the other thing she was saying, I know it had to hurt.
get himself checked in with. They asked me on Breakfast Club, and I said, no, I would never go on his show, but I would definitely help him in a private session because he needs that type of help.
Yeah.
This man has deeply rooted issues. That in itself it just screams mental illness. It screams addiction. It screams depression. It screams completely unhappy.
Yeah.
So, like, when you say something like that about somebody, they have mental health issues and they have alcoholic addiction and they family and they wife. I mean,
nobody wants to deal with you.
Me and my wife was just on the phone the other day. Me and my wife, cool.
Well, I think she specifically said kids.
Ex-wife. When y'all just in divorce court, that could be part of the mental illness. Maybe they stopped. Maybe they got, I don't know, the other further dealings. But we were just hearing a couple weeks ago, or maybe even before that she was in there trying to destroy him in the court, and trying to do this, or trying to put his business out there in the court. Now all of a sudden it's my wife, and me and my wife cool. We were just on the phone the other day. Still calling her your wife when she want to get a divorce. To me, you not trying to let go of this motherfucker. And if you're not trying to let go of somebody and you really love somebody, it can cause you to have a mental breakdown. It's natural. It happens to everybody. No matter how many times you call yourself the alpha, how many times you call yourself a super duper hellified nigga, certain things will hurt you. And it hurts to hear people talk about your personal situation, Corey. It does. And in reality, it's just a simple taste of your own medicine, how you go out of your way to talk about other people's personal situations and personal lives and the things that they do that you disagree with, or that you find to be crazy or weird or illogical, or is in the deep rootedness of mental illness. Because you can talk about somebody personally all day on your platform, but when they come back and say something about you, how do you spin it? Like this?
Well, she said wife too.
Yeah, she said wife too.
Okay, what about your kids?
What about the kids? Me and my kids have a relationship, even though in this country, a lot of children are not as close to their father as they would be because of things their mother has said about the father. And this is all proven. When children grow up with a dad.
You called your daughter a bitch in front of 10,000+ live viewers on your very popular podcast as a very popular, well-known OG comedian. I don't want to hear about what the mom has said or what the mom has done to deter your children to not fuck with you. We've heard you say disparaging things about your own children, sir. Bringing your own personal situations to the forefront, especially with your son and those Jordans, or how your son was moving, how you try to do this and that, and talking about your son's mom and your son's stepdad, who he might fuck with and think is cool because he's the one out here trying to show attentiveness and spend time with him and teach him things in life, instead of going on a platform to talk about how the mama ain't shit or how the kids and this and that. You've said things about them, sir. It's something crazy that I can't stand, is when people like lack accountability. That goes for anybody. I know a lot of people like, oh, you pay attention to Corey Holcomb the most. That's because the algorithms on my channel pay attention to Corey the most. So that's the most we're going to talk about over here. But most people deal with that. A lack of accountability. So to try to blame other people for things that you contributed to yourself is a sign of mental illness, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. You know, they're going to say I'm hating, even though I'm speaking out of logic and common sense. But listen to this.
And not a mom, they are better off to handle society.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. This woman just flat out lied again. Nobody is really watching how crazy this woman is. This woman came from left field with lies about me. And check this out. I will ask her. She's done surgery too. This is what this woman must not realize. I live in Los Angeles, so I know you, ma'am. I don't know you by hanging with you, but don't nobody hold water out here. Everybody say what they know about you. I know about your breasts.
He follows by gossip. Somebody who says that they get the facts or that they know things about people before they speak on it is somebody that's literally sitting here right now telling you they don't know this person from hanging out with him, but they know about them because of what other people are gossiping about them. Imagine him going by this same logic when it comes to him. Do you think Corey would say that somebody knows him because several people have been telling them about Corey? Or do you think Corey's going to say, you don't know me if you haven't hung around me? Because that's what he usually says. People don't. I'm a loner. People don't be. You act like you know something about somebody. This is something he does. You don't know Corey unless you've been around him for years and you his friend, but yet he'll know everything about a random woman who he doesn't hang around, doesn't know shit about, can't even hold a candle to a time that they've been together longer than 2 hours. Yet he knows about this person. And people will sit there, the fucking goofy Corey sexuals will sit up there like, see, Corey spitting that real shit. You see Corey saying that real shit. He exposing this bitch. But he's saying he only know her through other people saying shit about her. That's crazy.
Know about your nose? I know about everything. This ain't what you want. Because I got receipts to bag up what I'm talking about. But I want to see you go talk to my kids. Me and my daughter had a little strained relationship sometime, but that can happen with anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? We good now. That's my daughter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't even know me. Why are you making up stuff? I believe this is what happened when some people get put like, well, you got to say.
The irony of saying that you don't know somebody personally of hanging out with them, but you only know through what people have said in Hollywood, the same place that you don't trust, but then on the same end say, how are you saying all this stuff about me and you don't know me? Do you see how crazy that is? Does anybody see how wild that sounds? Or are people just going to run with it because that's their favorite comedian? Like, you got to understand, there's certain things that you got to decipher, man.
Say something, you on the spot. And then they just lie. She lies about being a doctor, and now she's lying about, like she know my life. You don't know me, man.
So did they try to get you to come back on Funky Friday with her? Is that been proposed?
I don't know if I should say that yet because it ain't happened. But
would you do that?
I dare her to try to have a face-to-face with me because I got all your dirt, ma'am.
All undocumented, unproven dirt.
I know that you've been in a relationship with that woman. I know how you get down. And you talk about, oh, I was with this man and he wasn't my man. He wasn't your man because you had a woman. I'm not the one. I know you, lady.
This is insane behavior. I don't care how you try to spit it, man. And I know there's going to be a few of the Corey sexuals in my chat or in my comment section later on when they see this and be like, GMS hating, all you talk about is Corey. Oh, you act like you know Corey. All right. Okay. But as you can see, what are we talking about here? Also, I want to reiterate this. Lorenzo Wakefield Ellison says she's not a doctor and her degrees are from discredited schools. So yeah, she not a doctor. Like I said earlier, let me ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you this question specifically, Lorenzo Wakefield Ellison. If you went to a school for X amount of years, studied psychology, therapy, whatever it is, child psychology, whatever you study to become a doctor in that field, and you accomplished it, you finished it and got your degree, but because the school shut down and now that it's saying that it's discrediting you, that means that you didn't put in the work to learn and become what you are. Regardless if you can call yourself a doctor or not, if she went to the school and she participated in doing the work and graduated and got a degree before this even happened, then yes, she can call herself a doctor because she put the fucking work in. I'm sorry. You can disagree with me all you want, but I'm pretty sure anybody in her position that put the work in is not going to sit up there and say, well, I guess I'm not a doctor. I put the work in. Fuck the school. I did my due diligence and did what I had to do to graduate and get my degree. It is not my fault that the school shut down and now they trying to discredit my school. I'm sorry. This isn't a Dr. Malachi Lovejoy situation. This is a nigga that woke up one day, put on a white robe, and started showing up at doctor's offices to falsely diagnose people. It's a person that actually went to school to learn this stuff. I'm sorry, but that it don't hold up to me. It don't hold up to me. I'm not gonna sit there and discredit her because her school shut down and the school got discredited. If I graduated before the school got discredited, nigga, I'm a doctor. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about none of that. But it is wild to see. It's wild to see. It's wild to witness. But hey, I mean, this is the 5150 realm. 5150 is code word for insane. So therefore, some insane things will happen. Therefore, some of the logic behind how people move is going to be flawed, and that's okay. This is why we get to talk about it over here sometimes over at the GMS show, man, and we have fun doing it, and we don't really take it that serious, man. We just kind of get hyped for entertainment purposes and just so that we can just be involved in the conversation, bring some type of excitement to y'all life and entertainment to y'all life, and bring the conversation to a point where y'all can also join in and be a part of the chat as well. So don't ever think that I'm over here taking this shit seriously, man. I do a show once a week, twice if you count 3Gs, which y'all gonna watch tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Don't you miss it. Now, it doesn't seem like this beef is going to die down anytime soon. It seems like they're going to continue to throw shots. I don't think she has said anything since the Breakfast Club. Well, I guess on Fox Soul, she went and said something. But that was about it because clearly he's not going to stop. Corey's not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. DJ Travel said, if you graduated high school and later they tore the school down, does your diploma not count anymore? Shit, it better count. I did all 4 years and graduated. You know what I'm saying? You can't make me go through all 4 years of high school again. It's not my fault the school shut down. I put the work in and I graduated. I got my credits, nigga. I got my credits, fam. You can't take that away from me. Now, shout out to y'all that supported, man. As I said before, you can go ahead and support in a big way. If you want to hit the super chat, you can. Shout out to Sean Mims for the $9.99 in the super chat. Also, if you want to support the GMS show in a big way, you can hit the Cash App that is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, or hit the link that my girl, Binky B, I was about to say my guy. My bad, Binky. I'm sorry. I almost said it, but I didn't. My girl, Binky Bianca, just put in the chat. You can go ahead. Shout out to you, sis. I appreciate you. Click that link, man, if you want to support in a big way. Also, if you want to send your boy a housewarming gift, because we are in the new GMS headquarters, my new spot. So if you want to go ahead and show love in that way, you can hit the Cash App today. I will most appreciate it. We still got shirts available if anybody wants to buy a new GMS Worldwide shirt. I changed up the design. I'm going to post it soon. So it's not the facts over or logic over feeling shirts anymore. It's going to just be GMS Worldwide with the world on it. It's going to be the picture of me down there with the jersey on. So y'all can go ahead and cop those shirts. If you are looking for a GMS Worldwide shirt, you can DM me. You can reach out to me, email me, whatever you want. Show up, do what you do. Let me know if you want one. I got you, all right? Shout out to Binky. She said I could be your guy. Let's see this comment. It says, clown, he carries out his actions toward individuals, and now he seeks assistance from law enforcement. Doesn't feel good, does it, Drake? My opinion, no one's agreement is required. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. How you say that name? Tiny L? Is that what I'm saying? Tiny L? Am I saying it right? We gonna call you Monet. We gonna call you Monet. I like the middle name. Shout out to you, Monet. Justin said, I like Binky. Black Ron sinister voice. Shout out to Black Ron, man. Shout out to Binky. Shout out to everybody that supports, man. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Appreciate y'all. We are going to get out of here right now because I got things to do. I hope y'all have a wonderful holiday week. I hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Eat all the turkey and chicken and greens and fish and spaghetti and dinner rolls and banana pudding and sweet potato pie and pecan pie, chocolate cakes and pound cakes and tea cakes and somebody out there gonna eat the chitlins. It ain't gonna be me, but somebody gonna eat the chitlins this year. It's probably gonna be your uncle. All right, probably gonna be your uncle, your nasty ass uncle. Eating the chitlins over there on the side by himself. The nigga that made a whole pot for 12 people, knowing goddamn well he the only one in the family that eat chitlins. If you don't get your ass up out of here, One love, GMS fam, the green room. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Like I said, hit that like button on the way out. Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. You can support the GMS show in a big way by hitting the Cash App or hitting the Super Chats, man, or just becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate y'all so much. It's been a great show. I'll see y'all later, man. Stay away from the booty noodles. We don't want no booty noodles. GMS fam, the green room. We out. Booty noodles. The booty noodles. The booty noodles. You gotta stay away from the booty noodles. You gotta stay away from the booty noodles. Oh yeah, the booty noodles. The booty noodles. Booty noodles. You don't want booty noodles because they stink and they so nasty. You gotta put hot sauce on them to make them tasty. And even then, they taste like shit. We don't want booty noodles in this bitch. We don't want a booty, booty noodles. We don't want booty noodles, booty noodles. Hey, fuck them booty noodles. We don't want them booty noodles. Hey, take that shit outside and eat that in the driveway, cause we don't want no booty